And we all say, sing our rising sun upon the day. Let us march on till victory. Let's go. Shining around. Jesus the Lord, we have treading on that the blood of the Son. From the still no we shall not, and what white we are sure, we stand
All right, you can be seated. Welcome to the Decision Point Ministries Church. We're excited to have you here, and those that are coming in, we welcome you to come in. Sister Chatman has already shared about the telephones and muting those, so as you come in, we want to remind you again about that. Also, for those that are first timers to our facility, let me just say to you that the water fountains are both upstairs and downstairs. Bathrooms upstairs and downstairs. Know this, because I get this question every time we do a town hall or something. Pastor, the toilets, how do y'all handle the toilet? Well, they're all top flushing. So it's just a push and top flushing toilet. All of the booklets and information on the table are free. Feel free to take as much of that as you like. One of the things I want to promote is this little booklet. It's called Unity in the Community. It's got a special direction toward Black History Month. It also speaks to God's word and how we should not lose our voice. So let me remind us again about the quorum. We're glad to offer our beautiful church space to the community at large, and we ask that you please respect the building and the grounds. Our choice is not to eat or drink in our sanctuary, and at the conclusion of our time together, if you just kind of check around you, make sure that the trash has been picked up. We want to be civil and respectful while sharing our thoughts within the framework that C.E.E.L has talked about. And tonight, in light of all that's going on in God's world, in light of all that's going on in the United States, in light of today's transition of Reverend Jesse Jackson, I think it's apropos what God has shared with me last week that I might share in short form, not a sermonette, but just a few minutes of something that was written by Solomon, the wisest man considered to have lived, the wealthiest man to have lived because of his wisdom. He wrote, in addition to the book of Ecclesiastes, he wrote the book of Proverbs and the Songs of Solomon. But here's the thing to note about Solomon that sometimes I think we push to the side in the church, and we ministers do this. We push to the side that Solomon was a wise, wealthy politician. Understand that. Understand that he, as a king, fits into that motif of being a politician. God granted him unparalleled wisdom in a dream after he asked for understanding. Get this, he could ask for anything, but the one thing he asked for was wisdom in governing. Don't miss that. That people want to separate the Bible from government, but don't miss the wisest man according to Scripture asked for that, and God granted it. He succeeded his father David and became king, greatly touted throughout history, even to this day. But then I want to draw upon just a few verses from Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Maybe you're familiar with this passage, maybe you're not, many maybe won't be, because it refers to kind of how we can lose our voice and miss our voice. Listen to what Solomon says. I've seen this example of wisdom under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a city, South Fulton, and there was also a great king that came against the city, and he besieged it, and he built great bulwarks around it, messing it up. Sounds like our debate in the 21st century. Things being built that you didn't ask for. There was found in it a poor, wise man. And he, by his wisdom, could have saved the city. But yet no one remembered that poor man. Meaning nobody paid attention to this poor man. Don't miss the adjective there beside who he is. The adjective there beside who he is the reason why people couldn't hear him. He was poor. Solomon says, but I say that wisdom is better than might. But the poor man's wisdom, there's that word again, that adjective. But the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heeded. That's why some people didn't feel the cheer tonight, because they feel like nobody's going to listen to me anyway. Nobody's going to hear me. The words of the wise heard in quiet are better than the shouting of a ruler among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. You can find that in the Revised Standard Version of Scripture, Ecclesiastes 9:13 through 18. But don't miss this though. Money is not the only way to be poor. There's many other ways to be poor. Some people are poor in civic engagement. Mm-hmm. Some people are poor in influence. Some people are poor in status. Some people are poor in finances, yes. Some people are poor in verbal expressibility. Some people are poor in godly love. We're not told how poor this man was. Only thing we're told is this man was a poor, wise man. Frustrating to be wise and poor at the same time. So, brothers and sisters, don't be poor. Always seek to be in a position to share wisdom. Here's what it says later on in that book. I said I wouldn't preach, so I put my notes down so I would keep myself within this and then pray. Don't be poor. Silence destroys a city or a country. You can be silent because of low self-esteem or apathy. And when there's silence, please don't miss this. When there's silence, the wicked rule. The wicked rule, and the wise keep their mouth shut. And when the wicked rule, the nation mourns. This is from God's word. But it sounds like reading the newspaper in America. God knew how to draw all of this together. And we just got to remind ourselves of that refrain that Reverend Jesse Jackson used to always do in rallies, particularly with children and young people and people who felt marginalized. He would remind them and have them repeat, I am somebody. I am somebody. I am somebody. We want to pray this evening. We want to pray for the Jackson family and many others of us that are mourning of his transition. We want to pray for the nation, and we want to pray for all jurisdictions. We want to pray for daily examples that are coming across of out of control violence. Talking with my brother today in Memphis, there's a nonprofit in Memphis called Touched by an Angel. It seeks to minimize and do away with domestic violence. Today, the president of that nonprofit got arrested for choking his wife. Wow. We got out of control violence. We can't be silent. We got to pray for families. We got to pray for our houses of faith. And then we're praying for this evening's gathering that you have taken the time to participate in. Father, we just thank you. We pray in advance, dear God, that much wisdom will be shared here this evening. We pray in advance, dear God, that the wisdom that is shared will be heard. It won't be pushed to the side, but it will be heard and be heard even in righteousness. You call us all to repentance, and you remind us even earlier in 2 Chronicles 7:14 that if your people who are called by your name would humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked ways, seek your face, you will hear from heaven. We need you to hear from heaven this evening. Speak into the hearts of those who are citizens. Speak in their hearts of those who are public officials. And let us govern wisely as Solomon requested and you gave. In Jesus' name, amen. 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 God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. We're going to turn it over to, again, I want to thank all the residents of this city of South Fulton for coming out. Again, this is our city. This is you guys' city. And you got to speak up. If you don't speak up, you can't say that you didn't speak up. Once you speak up, it's up to them. It's off your hand. The blood is off your hand. They have to make the decision. And I'm praying that they make the right decision. I'm praying that they get out of self and once just think about the constituents. I want to thank my councilman Aaron Johnson for coming. Thank you, Aaron, District 2. It's good to see District 2 in the house. I want to thank Councilwoman District 1, Dr. Brown, for coming. Again, I want you guys to be, it's recording, so I need you guys to refrain from talking, mute all cell phones, because everything is going to be picked up, and I can't edit anything back. And this is your time to hear, and it's going out. So I'm going to bring Ms. Muhammad up and turn it over to her. And here's the mic. When young citizens come up, you can come up to the mic and speak, and you can say whatever you want to say. Just don't be respectful for the house. So again, thank you, Ms. Muhammad, for reaching out to me to do this. And I said, yes, I'm all about the community. Nothing else. I don't straddle the fence, it's about the community. So again, thank you, and I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Muhammad.
Good evening, how's everybody doing?
Excellent.
I'm here because this is a heartfelt subject and situation for me. And first I would like to thank Pastor Doug McHenry for hosting this and the C.E.E.L organization that brought so much. Thank you, Pat. Okay, I'm sorry, Pastor McHenry. Thank you for so much for hosting this. But if you all recall, August of last year, there was gas station developers was trying to put a gas station literally across from our homes. And this was gonna affect people who was on well water, septic systems. And this gas station was gonna be so close that you can literally open up your front door and you could have seen a Chevron neon sign. And we had public comments meeting, and we had, and we were really expecting for the council member to be on our side as residents. And not one time, and this is out, hey, we on well water. We've done the research, benzene are carcinogens, gonna leak in our water, and gonna give us leukemia. As well as for looking into the soil of the septic system. Now, one time, this council member of District 3 met with us, talked with us, or anything. It was even said at the public comments at the church that I don't care what you all say, that this development is going up. From a council member. Now, we're looking like, wait a minute, whose side are you on? Are you on the developer side or are you on the citizens, the homeowner? So we fought and we prayed every day, all day. And the developers eventually withdrew November of 2025, last year. So out of nowhere, once elected officials are in their seats come January, out of nowhere, this ordinance is being repealed. It's like, what's going on? Why is this ordinance being repealed? I thought it was over with. So immediately, there's people who live on the street and bear witness to what I'm saying. We're like, why is this being repealed? Did they not hear our cry? Did they not hear that, hey, we don't want this across from our homes? But you know what saved us? Of course, the good Lord first and foremost. But you know what saved us? This current ordinance. This current ordinance prevents a gas station from being within 3 miles of each other. Not only does it keep oversaturation of the gas stations, but it keeps environmental pollution, it keeps water pollution down, it keeps all of this down. So we immediately just like, okay, this is being repealed. And come to find out the architect behind this repeal is the same council member. We're like, hey, wait, hold on, what's really going on? Is this special interest? Is this what's now one time have you got an email, hey, let's meet with you about the well water, let's meet with you about the septic system. We up here like, hey, we got that 2 months later after the developers withdrew. We're 2 months later at a repeal at the table again. So ordinance 2021-033, the current ordinance, it prevents gas stations from being within 3 miles of each other. And that will save us. And the zoning. And it's sad to say, but May of last year, this same council member was working one-on-one with the developers to try to get our area rezoned for this gas station developer. Again, now one time did she reach out to the residents? Not one time did we get an email, not one time did we get a phone call. We felt betrayed. We felt like we didn't belong. We felt like you did not care about our health and our welfare of not our children, but our grandchildren. That this being in close proximity will literally cause leukemia. We did not want to be another Flint, Michigan. We did not want to be another Jackson, Mississippi. When you hear it later on in the years, how it affected the residents and how it killed most of the residents in that area. We did not want that. So again, we're back at this fight all over again. And we truly feel, as residents, that this repeal of this ordinance, because the new ordinance now, guess what it's saying? It don't say one gas station per 3 mile. It's saying 2 gas stations per 1.5 mile. So I'm saying, okay, 2 gas stations per 1.5 miles, so you really wanna make sure this will be in here. This is the one across from South Fulton. Now the South Fulton, young lady just mentioned it to me earlier. They're trying to put one on her street there at Road. So if we as citizens, if we as residents, homeowners, business owners, if you want to overnight, I'm just gonna call it like it is. If you want overnight for your area, for your district to look like a ghetto. You know how it is in our community, in our neighborhood. It's a liquor store, a gas station, a nail shop. All of this is in our neighborhood, our community. And where I live is people who have $1 million homes. They just still South Fulton, just gave a special permit on use for a gas station quick trip to be built by Wheat Ross House. That's totally disrespectful. For you to be building a gas station by a $1 million home. And just think, when you wake up every morning and see them on every corner where you live, these gas stations, but this is what the new ordinance is gonna bring. And not only the 2 per 1.5 mile, it also states with the current ordinance, if your home is 1,000 feet, they cannot put a gas station there. But this new ordinance, it says if a resident home is more than 1,000 feet, that the gas station will not have to have a special use permit, that they can be built. I mean, I have it in my phone, I can show it to you or whatever, but we on Stone Hotel, we in District 7, Brother Al, we in District 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We do not want ordinance 2021-033 repealed. Keep the ordinance the way it is. Not only protected us from our well water being polluted and our septic systems, it protected us from noise pollution. I don't want to noise you ever hear all night, the litter, the traffic, and not one study has been done on anything. So we're asking for you all to let's stay together in all districts of City of South Fulton, not just District 2 or 3 or 1, all these districts. So we can stop this right now so that our place won't be polluted. And most of these gas owners actually don't even live in our area. Don't even live in our area. The developer of the one on Stone Hotel, he had a $1.4 million home in Alpharetta. Then it don't live in the area, they get rich, but they take the money back on the north side. But if we keep allowing this same cycle to happen, your $1 million, your $200,000, your $300,000 home, before you know it's gonna be dropped down to 0. So I'm asking you all, and I'm asking the council members who are listening, who are here. Not all council members are supporting this. We have 5 council members out of 7, and the mayor who are supporting this for repeal of ordinance. We have to unite, and we have to stand together and come up with some type of solution for our home values not to be dropping, and for our environment and our water system to not be polluted. So thank you all for your attention, and we look forward to working together and unite as one. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Al. He's ready for the same. I want to bring up Al Reynolds, he's on the District 7. He's been fighting the same thing in his district.
Hello, everybody. And like Ms. James stated, my name is Alvin Reynolds. I reside in District 7. One of the areas that is highly impacted by this gas station and this ordinance. She stated earlier that when you have an oversaturation of certain types of business, it starts to identify the area in which you live. Now, I don't live far from Rick Ross. I stay about maybe not even a quarter mile. But when you come and try to repeal an ordinance that protects the community, ordinances are put in place to protect communities and businesses. We understand that. But this one don't make sense. We have too many gas stations on the 279, 138 corridor. For the you doesn't know, the street routes, that's where National and Jonesboro Road. Too many gas stations already. Nail salons, barbershops, storage facilities. Y'all see where I'm going?
Yes.
Now, everybody in here, I've heard you state that something needs to be done in that old national area. And you don't even live over there, but there are some concerns. But yet nothing has been done. But the same thing over and over and over again. Now, it was stated, there are 7 council members that voted, 5 of which are in support. And 1, District 7, is help carrying this bill. Now, when the community asks for things that they want and don't want, for some reason, in that particular area, people look at us and say, be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know zoning. You don't know about ordinance. And they give us what they want. But I'm sorry and sad to say, when they come to District 2, 1, 4, people are being heard. And things don't seem to happen as they do in our area. But what I'm glad to stand here and say, that we in the city of South Fulton, 1 through 7, understand that this ordinance affects the entire city and not just one area. So I'm standing with you on tonight. Let's not repeal the original ordinance because it does no area in South Fulton any good. So ladies and gentlemen, stand with us with this. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Harold Reed. I reside in District 2.
Oh, your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I reside in District 2. I don't really know how to put what I'm about to say, so I may ramble a little. Okay. I believe in the general premise that people do things for a reason. Now, the way to move forward is to try to understand the reason that they're doing something. I am not going to, as some of my fellow citizens have done, imply there's something nefarious going on, because I don't know. But what I do know is this is the second time we as citizens, this is the second time that we as citizens have objected to changes in the ordinance which determines where service stations can go. Now, I really would like to know why this change is necessary. And yeah, I might be stepping out of line and asking this, but it's something we need to know. And it's not something we need to know in an extraordinary manner. In the normal course of things, as citizens in the city of South Fulton, we should know why our council does anything. Now, again, this is a little bit off, and I don't know where everything stands because I don't know when this is going to come up for a vote.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay. I would hope that the council people present will put the brakes on this. Because if this is pursued as it's got to be done right now, I'm getting out recall petitions.
Amen.
Now, I'm just telling you what I say. Because throughout my entire business life, If my boss asked me, why did you do that? I could say why. I would like to know why this has to be done now. Especially in light of the fact, 4 months ago, we said don't do it. So again, I know that's a roundabout thing, but I'm willing to give the council to next Tuesday to in fact change their course. Because I think that's reasonable. And all they have to do to show us they're changing their course is to put this on hold and start scheduling town halls. Because I saw the sign-in sheet from the November meeting. There were people in every district present at that meeting. I'd be willing to guess at least 4 districts are probably represented here. I'm willing to extend that olive branch to the council. Tell us why it has to be done. That's all. Why? Because if you'll recall, when we had the little kerfuffle about the millage rate cap, it was citizens who got them to go back and get a better deal than they had initially. I'm sure citizens in here have knowledge of things which can be used by this council, hopefully to move this city forward. That was the premise we used when we formed the city in the first place. We were upset because Fulton County could do whatever they wanted and they didn't have to deal with us. Well, you got to deal with this thing. Again, I'm not making an idle threat. If this thing is pushed through, you may see me at your door, knocking on the door, with the recall petition in my hand to get these people out, because they'll show, they'll hear a thing about you.
Mike, I'm sorry, but you know, that's my mentor right there. I feel laid.
I totally understand. Don't argue.
I'm not gonna be long. I kind of wrote like little notes because I can be real passionate about this topic in particular. I know everybody's kind of talked about, and I'm not gonna talk totally what's gonna happen as a result of how many accidents. You'll end up with 4 every 3 miles or whatever the number comes into. Like for me, it becomes more about like good and bad. If we look around the communities that we want to be a part of, if we look at the communities that we say we want to look like, we want that level of development. You go and look at what are they doing for gas stations. You don't see them relaxing the laws and creating, like removing barriers to entry, we'll call it. At the last meeting, it was said that we were misinformed. It's constantly said that we're putting out misinformation. I'm not even gonna try to dispute whether we are or whether we are not. But if we are, tell us what misinformation we need to be corrected on. And to date, since August of last year, we have never, I got a phone call telling me I was putting out misinformation. But when I specifically asked, what misinformation am I putting out? I couldn't get an answer. And I am truly a person who will stand corrected and will publicly tell you, I said this, I was wrong, and here's the correct information. I believe credibility is everything. I think Mr. Harrell is on to something. We are rushing through something, piece of policy, something that is legacy impacting. To me, this is about generational health and generational wealth. And I can't, for the life of me, understand why we can't pump the brakes. You never wants me to say, I'm okay if you want to update the ordinance. I'm okay if we need to modernize it. You probably heard me say publicly before, I strongly believe if you're gonna touch this ordinance, you need to put in a brownfield mitigation fund fee. For every pump that you wanna build, you need to pay us $10,000 annually. Why? Because you're gonna put a small business out, and if we're gonna be sitting there trying to figure out how are we going to remediate that area, this to me creates a dedicated fund that the city can tap into as an enterprise fund, so it's not like it can go be used for, let's go put a blue track light here, let's go, do something over there. It's a dedicated fund that will allow us to pull, when we go to pull down federal and state dollars to remediate brownfields, we have a dedicated fund available to match those dollars right over there. If QT comes in and says they want to go buy an old gas station, they have a fund. We can create an incentive program for them to do it. Hey, we can create a loan program. You can borrow the money over an X number of period of time, so it replenishes the fund. There are ways to do this, but to me, it's about coming to the community and having some conversation. And then there are a couple other pieces that I want to make sure we touch on, because every time we show up, it's a new version of this ordinance. Which could be a good thing, you may kind of listening, right? I don't like the changes. I feel like it gets worse and worse every time, but here we are. My big issue with the last version that we saw is the move from land use, the title that governs land use, to business licensing. Nobody talks about it. Under state law, we get a public hearing. We are required to have a plan. It's required to go to the planning commission, and we're required to have a public hearing. There's nothing in this new language that gives us any of those guarantees, because you're gonna regulate it under an occupation license. Yeah, the move from Title VII to Title 12, or whichever way it goes, that's what we're talking about doing. We're moving, to me, we're taking away our voice. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But you're taking away the voice of the people in a way that they can, so that means the only way we're gonna get it is when we show up at a council meeting and we got our little 30-minute window for public comment, and we gotta all run up there and say what we gotta say. But there's not gonna be some CEIM meeting where we can stay in there all night and talk about it. It's not gonna be some public commission meeting. Planning commission meeting, and I'm like, those are the things that we have to, we can't even lose focus on that. Like, there's a bigger shift happening that we don't even see. And then you can talk about the zoning modifications. Didn't brought it up. Hey, the zoning kind of helped us on Stonewall Tail. But how many times have we gone to our council, or we've gone to the planning commission, and we've said, we don't want this. Do we change this zoning from this to that? Because right now it says, hey, if it falls under M1, M2, or C2, then you get a special land use permit. They have to apply and they get a special land use permit. Under this, not under this, but in general, how many times have we fought against that? How many times have we said, no, that was agricultural land, you don't want that land changed to whatever? Planning commission, we recommend deny it. Go to the council. Approved. So we can't hang our hat on simply just saying, oh, if it's this, or that. Because at any time, that land use designation can change. And so what land that's sitting next to you, or the person who's not here that doesn't think this is all that important, because you're like, next door to me is zone this. The next, it doesn't, all it takes is somebody going for council and filing for a modification. You got variance, and now you just open yourself up to a gas station or whatever it is. So I would just implore us to talk to our neighbors who don't have a lot of time. The city is moving faster, way faster than it ever should. Legislation this impactful should never, ever move this fast. It should never move this fast. You should be taking the community along with us. Even if we're kicking and screaming, take us along. So we can at least say we've had opportunity to voice our concerns. We've had opportunity. The opportunities to voice our concerns have come more that have been publicly led, citizen led, than they have been anything. And at least give us an opportunity. Come and explain to us why it's critical for this to get done by the February 27th meeting? Why is it critical for this to be done before March 6th? That's the issue that I take with it. And then the only other thing I would say is, I know somebody said, why do we need to do this, or why do we need changes? I've been told that we have lost the opportunity for a Costco, a Kroger, and a Buc-ee's.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
I personally do without the Buc-ee's. I like them out there in the country somewhere, but hey, they come, God bless them.
This is not going to come to any metro area. Get that out of your mind.
Telling you when it's done.
Let's see, I'll be honest with you. And I'm sorry, excuse me.
It's a time. It's a time. Mr. Reed. It's a time.
The only other thing I was saying, so my thing is, if that's the case, I mean, I think everybody in here will raise their hand, then we can get a Costco or, you know, some type of gas station or Sam's. Then create a carve out for that and leave it alone. It doesn't have to be all of this extra stuff that's being loaded into it. That's all I got.
Hey, Dina, thank you for saying that, and Mikey. I asked a question about the Buc-ee's. And I talked to someone, and I think this council person was honest with me. Cause I was told I was traveling down the road to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's, you need a lot of land, and it need to go near an interstate like I-20, 285. It is not coming to District 4. It is not coming to District 2. It is not coming to District 1. I even asked the question, could it go on Fulton Industrial? Not enough land on Fulton Industrial. So I wish people would stop saying we're gonna get a Buc-ee's. We're not going to get a Buc-ee's. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, so I'm Mike Johnson, I live in District 4, and I hear, you know, this is a great comment that just come out a second ago. But I'm not quite I'm not as cool as some of the people that came and spoke before me. They want to be real kitty glove, like, why are we doing this? Who caused it? It's pretty simple. Helen Willis only has about 1 or 2 more meetings.
That's it.
That's all she had.
That's it.
She's the one been pushing this, and we got a problem with it.
Yeah.
And not only do we have a problem with it, the reason she continues to do this is because some of our elected leaders keep backing her and endorsing.
Yes.
We gotta stop that foolishness.
Yes.
Helen Willis is our problem.
Yes.
She's been a bully there for 8 years.
Amen.
And I got a problem with it. I'm gonna say it. Right, tell whoever you think you need to tell within this county. It doesn't bother me. Target on my back, come over with it. But the problem is, we keep endorsing these people who do not vote our voice. Until we stop doing that, we're gonna keep getting what we get. It's that simple. And the reason this is happening because she only has about 1 or 2 more meetings. 1 or 2 more meetings before she has to resign and run for her next so-called job at representing Fulton County and District 5. The seat that Mama Arrington currently holds. We need to stop that.
Yeah.
If she ain't done us a great job being please, we need to recognize their vote and stop the foolishness. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna that's so like it is. Before now, this is why it's happening. So to answer the questions asked to why it's happening, this is what's going on. Now we got elected leader that I've seen today that's coming out backing her and endorsing her. My whole thing is, you got a right to vote for whoever you vote for. You know, even the current council member in my district, Betsy Sebastian, he comes out supporting her. Now I'm gonna beat up on the guy too fast as I ran against him last time. But I do wanna say this, if you're not going to vote the voice of the people, and you're gonna keep backing people that don't respect us and our voice, then we need to consider, should we be sending you back? It's just that simple. And I'm just real simple talk here. Now, I heard the Pastor Chris spoke, I think he said something about Proverbs, I got a brother to do it. Proverbs 4, chapter 7 verse, you know, in all you're getting, get you some understanding. Get you some understanding as to how things are happening, why this is happening. Okay, I guess I'm too loud.
It's not.
It's loud. Okay.
It's fine.
All right, yeah, so basically, until the city of South Fulton, whether it's District 1 or whether it's District 7, we one city. And I know we got council people that's in here, council people that won't be watching this on YouTube. 2 or 3 council members, they can't do it by themselves. You know, you gotta have 4 votes to get anything done. It's just that simple. I mean, I applaud the 2 that's trying to stand up. You know, I've watched a lot of the council members over the years, and I've changed my opinion about a couple of them because they have fought a fight by themselves against a whole lot of other foolishness. But the bottom line is, y'all know who the problem is, y'all know who it is, y'all know who the bully is. It's one person. I'm gonna tell it like it is. We need to rid ourselves of Helen Zenobia Williams.
Thank you for, Brother Mike, that was, yeah. I just wanted to say the 5 council members who are sponsoring this bill is Helen Zenobia Willis, J.C. Sebastian,
Yeah.
Natasha Williams, Linda Pritchett, and Aaron Johnson. Yes, they're the 5. They're the 5 who's sponsoring this new ordinance. And like Mike just said, we have to start calling out names. We have to start calling people for what they're doing to us. These are our tax dollars. We live here. When they're long gone, we're gonna be stuck with this mess. We're gonna be stuck, like the young lady said earlier, is if these old gas stations that sit around, when the new ones come in, overnight, these old gas stations going out of business. And to me, that's not fair for gas stations who have family-ran business, been in business for over 30, 40 years. Yeah, some of them don't look the best, but that's what we have code enforcement for. To go and let them know, hey, you have to bring this up to code, or you're gonna be, you're gonna be fined, and you're gonna be fined and hefty fine. But to put them out of business because developers are coming in and saying, hey, we can when we set the meeting on Summerlawn Hill, that man had held a picture of a new gas station and a gas station of an old gas station. And like any human being, you won't do. That to me was not fair. How dare you come into our community, in our neighborhood, and tell us what we have and what we don't have. And this man been in business for over 30, 40 years. He's not even the owner, he's just a tenant. So you want to take away a man's livelihood for big business to come in? It's, again, do not repeal 2021-033. Here's Ms. Vincent, she's from District 1. Again, we're from all, District 2, we're from all districts here instead of South Fulton. Thank you.
My name is Ivory M. Denson, and I live in District 2, and I regret that non-council person is supporting this. It's very disappointing. That is not what I expected. In voting for him, I was kind of belated, that's right. But because of his connections, I voted for him, and I have to this point regretted it, because to me, I can't understand how he could be supporting this. You know, Jesse Jackson died, and I was kind of reminiscing some things because of the height of the civil rights movement. I was at Tuskegee at that time, and with that Selma to Montgomery, we could bust those down there. We practiced for all that. And so I come from that background. And I come from a background that people showed up when issues had to be dealt with. And the amazing thing, they didn't have cell phones. Some folks didn't even have just regular rotary phones in their houses. But yet, when you went to a meeting, you could barely get in. Right. We got all kinds of ways of communication. I'm glad to see the number of people here tonight, but heaven knows, this place should have been overflowing. Yeah. We talk about other communities that folks predominantly don't look like us. If they had gotten notice this morning, that the media would have been there and it would have been overflowing. I hope that when we have enough, when somebody that has a media connection will have them out here. But you can't have them come out here and you have just a handful of people. That is embarrassing. Now, the full impact of this is, if you think about it, currently there is one service station for every 3 miles. If the proposal is to have 2 for every 1.5 miles, that means that They said there's gonna be 4 service stations possibly for every 3 miles. That is ridiculous. And some of us still live on well water. I do, and I've been in my house for 50 years. I don't want to be a part of the land water thing, because when you got to, water your lawn every other day, I don't have a problem. Because I get my water out of the ground that God gives to me. So that's a concern that I have. And also, I would ask each of us to make ourselves a committee of one to reach out and bring somebody else to these meetings. I know we don't have that much time, but any issue that we have, we ought to do that. Because what really galls me, or part of what galls me, is that the people that are pushing that, first of all, there's no need. But the other part is that the potential owners of these service stations, gas stations, are going to be people who don't look like you and me. And so why are we making it possible for them to enrich themselves while we allow them to bring something in our community that's going to bring our property value down? Because most people, income is, well, one of the main sources is their home. And if you bring something in that takes down the value of our home, that's just not right. And these same folks would want in their communities. And I'm sure it says no one in ours. So but all of us need to be very careful about the persons that we let to serve us. You know, we talk about public service, but it's not that much, it's not that way anymore. It looks like it's public enrichment. Public contact, public connection. Who can I have tentacles into so I can benefit from it? If you don't want to serve the public, don't run for the office.
Amen.
So now we need to start. We need to get out and vote. We need to encourage the people to vote. And I know somebody mentioned Rick Ross. I asked myself, who is he? But 82, 83 in September, I don't know who he is. He said a rapper, I hope he was right. But if he is a rapper, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if he is a rapper, then he should have some influence. I hope he votes, but he should have some influence to help to get people out, you know, and oppose it. Because they have to get around. I really think they want, you know, negative things. Maggie has a very lovely home.
Yes.
I mentioned, somebody said, okay, but listen, so are you willing to have, I'm not saying, I know this is excess, but are you willing to have to pass 4 service stations in 3 miles? I don't want it. So we got work to do, and we need to get busy when they want to stand their city up. Pose it, because I asked one question. What city in America do you know whose residents are predominantly African Americans, and that city is run by African Americans? Tell me one that is run well. Now, it's a lot of people there. Not one. And this is what I said. And the city of South Fulton won't be either. And I hate to say it, but it's not. Anytime case in point, you give a former police chief $200,000, and then if he testifies for the city, for the officers who are suing, you're gonna pay him $100 an hour for a testimony. Well, if you found reason to terminate him, why give him that kind of money? And then give him an incentive, he can get on the stand and drag it out. I mean, that's just crazy. But anyway, that's how I feel about it, and you know how I feel. Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Barbara Baylor Ross, and I live in District 1. And I'm really just, I don't know an awful lot about the entire issue, but I am actually coming up here to speak on behalf of my profession. I am a public health professional, and this is a public health issue. Really what we're talking about today. And I moved here in 2017, and really at the end of 2016. And since I've been here, you can't hear me? Okay. And since I've been here, I've seen trees taken down, all these ordinances. I don't know if they're ordinance or just developers coming and deciding, oh, this is like a good area in South Fulton, we'll tear down trees, we'll do this. And it is just communities of color have always faced disproportionate environmental health risks for a long, long time, and due to a number of systemic and systematic factors. I mean, toxic air pollution, the water contaminants, asthma, heart disease, all kinds of things are public health issues. And I'm very concerned. When I saw this, I was very concerned. I told my husband, we need to go so we can hear what they're actually talking about. So I'm glad we came tonight. And I want to say every 100 meters increases the cancer risk to children. And this is cancers in children are up when you have all these gas stations. The chemical that's in gas is the benzene. And that's what Ms. Mohammed was talking about with the leukemia. And I just wanted to say on behalf of the other things, soil erosions, trees down, all kinds of stuff that I really am not happy about what's going on now to add this. So keeping the current ordinance of 1 to 3 miles is what I would be in favor of, if we even have to have that. I don't know. But, 2 gas stations, 1.5 miles is not going to be very good for the environment. It's not going to be very good for your health. And it's certainly not going to be very good for our children's health. And this is a serious public health issue that I would just encourage you and admonish you to get behind and to figure out what we're going to do in terms of as a community to repeal the one that they are proposing now. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ernest Jordan. I'm a resident over off of Derrick Road and South Fulton Park. Right across from the Amazon over there. We have a small house sitting on Wichita. Well, we found out that a developer is coming to town and they want to put a gas station and a C2 right on that corner where Amazon is at. Right there, we found this out back in January. And I think it's supposed to go to the council in March. But we just came to the knowledge of all this. And what we found out was we just went to, the sign was posted about a week or two before the C.E.E.L meeting. And we discovered all this. Anyway, long story short, I got a picture of the concept plan right here. That I sent to, I'm in District 4. I sent to Councilman Sebastian already. So, but hopefully that more people show up and voice their concerns at the city council meeting, not only about this, but because it's affecting me directly, because I'm on 3-point-some acres, and this developer only has 2 acres. They're trying to put all this right in the back space, the gas station, where we're going to grow crop for our family, and community. But it's not only about the ordinance, not only is about the 3.9 per gas station, but it's the second part of that. That I think she mentioned it earlier, that's very important. 1,000 feet, and I did the math on this, that's equivalent to 3 NFL football fields. You think about that and let that set in for a minute, that they shouldn't allow this to happen. Not only 1.5, but if they keep that 1,000 feet, that's 3 football fields, including the end zones. Yes, it's that in. I pulled it up on my phone. Yeah, that 1,000 feet, that's equivalent to, 3 NFL. Think about that. That's a lot, to help protect us. So that's important why this ordinance should stay in place. But we're going to stand against this developer, any other developer to come in and want to put in these gas stations or anything that's not legal or by law that should that causes these, safety concerns and health issues to residents. So and I urge us, those who are in here, those who get the word out, because as you see, just, maybe 20, 30 of us here. Our CVM meeting, they don't have about 5 people there. I don't know how the word is getting out. We found out about this meeting because of next door. So I don't know how the word is getting out to the community, about these type of issues. So my name is Ernest, my wife's name is Shirley. Prayerfully that more people come out to the meetings and they voice their concerns, put in their notices to the city council, because the city council, if you're not aware and get to the site, you can voice your concerns through Zoom. If you don't attend the meeting. So you can't go up on Zoom and do an online comment, basically what I'm saying. You can do your comments online to your city councilman or woman. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it. So.
Neighbors, make sure we mark our calendar for tomorrow, February the 18th at 6 o'clock, the planning and zoning committee meeting. We need to be there and pack the house to let them know that we do not want this. And like the young lady said on public health, the risk of benzene, carcinogen that leaks into the water and go up in the air. And it's really bad for people who have asthma and respiratory problems. Only in our neighborhood do they bring this foolishness. But Brother Vincent, he's here, he wanna speak, and he's really an advocate on green energy.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you for allowing us to come and to be here together. We're here on one accord. My name is Vincent Amos. I am the HOA president for the Canaan Walk subdivision. Tuesday the 10th, I spoke before the mayor and the city council. And one of the things that I spoke about was green energy. So what I need to do right now is I want to take everybody on one accord and I want to recalibrate everybody to come up a little bit higher. And what I want to tell you is the fact when I mentioned to the mayor and the city council is that dead dinosaurs need to stay dead. It's a thing of the past. It is not the future. If we are the city of South Fulton, we got to go to the future. And the future is not 5 steps back with gasoline. What is happening right now in the United States of America is that every single day, somebody buys an EV. In addition to that, somebody buys a plug-in hybrid. In addition to that, somebody buys a gasoline hybrid. And so where we're going in the United States of America is for something that does not pollute, something that is renewable, and something that will keep all of us alive on the top side of the grave. And so why do we want to make a decision on something that we know that's going to kill our seniors, going to kill our young children, and eventually is going to kill ourselves? What I said on Tuesday the 10th was that the city of South Fulton does not need another gasoline station, as the British would say, at all. Don't need one. That's in the past. So if someone wants to come and build something in the city of South Fulton, the energy companies need to come with clean energy so that we can renew and recharge our own vehicles. Now in my own house, I bought my wife, I'm a domestic guy, all my vehicles are domestic because I believe what my grandmother taught me. She said it's a poor dog that cannot wag his own tail. That's right, that's grandmama wisdom. That's grandmama wisdom. So yes, bought a electric vehicle for my wife and bought an electric charging station that had to be professionally installed. It took two electricians, licensed electricians with all of their equipment, 3.5 hours to install it, and my wife is a happy camper. In other words, what I'm saying, everyone, is that it's the way that we need to go. No, I'm not against gasoline vehicles. They're going to be around for a while. But what I'm saying is, in the words of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, let us do the things that not only is going to keep hope alive, but keep us alive as well. God bless you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vincent, for that. Does a council member would like to speak on what we're talking about? Maybe can clear up this, when we're always hearing misinformation. Do anybody want to speak who's here? Council member? Oh, you can speak as well, sir. Okay, you can come on. Can you say your piece, please?
My name is Thomas Smith from District 1. I'm a retired mechanic. It's like this guy said right here, 15 years ago, every car was hard. Every car was gas. Now you got 15 years ago, all cars, 1% of cars that were hybrid or electric. Now, 4 out of 10 cars are hybrid or electric. In 2035, most car makers in the world is doing away with gas cars.
Thank you.
Right. What are we gonna do about the environmental problems? When we, all this store, because they're gonna close. Yeah. They're gonna close. Sooner or later. So what are they doing right now is killing our community.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it like the other side of Campbell Road.
That's the whole idea.
Yes. And electric to bring it down the community faster than anybody else. They do. And we all know all these gas stations gonna be owned by independent powers. Thank you.
You want to go ahead, Go ahead. This is S.E.E.L. Umana. He's one of the he's one of the residents that's on Stonewall Hotel. He also has his he's on septic tank system as well.
Yes, good evening, family. First and foremost, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. I'm a little nervous right now, but what's in my mind is we finally have an opportunity where we have African Americans in place, knowing that what the past was, we know that we was under colonialism, if you want to call it that. Now we have an opportunity. We have all I see during these council meetings and so on and so forth is African Americans, or in some cases back in the old school, we call them Oreos. You know what an Oreo is, right? No, okay, come on, so I come out of Brooklyn, New York. In 1995, I moved here. And I moved in this particular area before the quality of living. Trees. Down the street, I used to see black Angus cows. Now I see gas stations. I see hair weaving places, whatever you call them, beauty, so and so and so and so forth, which is not beneficial to our community whatsoever. So I'm listening, and I'm often wondering, what is beneficial to our area? Not a gas station, not Buc-ee's and things of this nature. Fast forward, we should be at a point now where these particular areas, as opposed to knocking down the trees, just clear them out, not clear them out, but how would I say, redo them, we could plant our own foods. We don't have a what is it, Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and things of this nature that's going to be beneficial to our health. But what they're talking about, unfortunately, is putting up another gas station, or any for that matter, even a store. Because where we reside, we have a gas station, which the brother has been there for many moons. And he has been, from my observation, he has been renovating as he's supposed to do, as it says in the ordinance and so on and so forth. But what it says to me again, we have an opportunity, being that we are African Americans, to make this a better place for ourselves, our family, and most of us here are some senior citizens, as well as myself. And pretty soon we're going to be going to a next transition, and God knows best. So that means that our children, our grandchildren need to have something to stand on. I am the first in my family, because we came from poverty-stricken area, Bedford-Stiles in Brooklyn, if anybody's familiar with it. And all we seen, not gas stations, we had gas stations later when it came on, but pawn shops, liquor stores, pawn shop, liquor store, gun joints. Now, in these little gas stations, I've noticed, inside these gas stations is wine.
Yep.
Gambling, little slot machines, things of that nature, the lights blaring. And then you got the young brothers and sisters hanging out there, just hanging, smoking weed, in case maybe that's your thing, so be keep it home. But as you well know, this is not conducive for our well-being. I'm gonna ask that as a very myself, and excuse my language. I'm gonna ask that as myself, and I don't need this kind of nonsense. I moved here to Atlanta for the quality of living. I'm looking around and I'm saying, whoa, this is beautiful. All this grass and these trees, children running free and so on and so forth. Where I reside now, and they're talking about putting a gas station there. We're talking, I got a house here, you got a house there, they got a house. How do you want to put a gas station? That doesn't make any sense. Have these people even been out to see what the area looks like and how it's going to affect our homes? Our quality of living? It is seriously sad. I say that, with compassion, and I must piggyback off what the brothers and sisters were saying prior to what I'm speaking about. This has to change. We need to stop conducting ourselves like money matters all the time. There's money to be made in our communities, but put something there what was I thinking about putting there that's going to bring some kind of revenue, because that's what it seems like, this is what they're into. Trying to make some money to what they're doing, but at the cost of what? We're talking about cancer. We're talking about leukemia, and all these health issues. Come on, man, look around us. All we see is brown and black faces. What is going on here? And the sad part of that is those who are sitting around this round table, have you not come from these kind of ends? You should know better. Since they mentioned civil rights movement and so on and so forth. Have you all forgotten where we came from to where we should be? This is sad. This is really disheartening to me. I can't even raise my grandchildren in the area, provided this keeps going on. Because I even considered moving, man. And I'm the first in my family to own something. I never owned anything in my life, even in apartments and projects. Now we have homes. I'm sure everybody has a home. Could you imagine? You wake up in the morning, but now you wake up when you go home. Lights are there because they're gas stations. Young brothers staying out there and doing whatever they're doing. This is sadness. This is madness, because when they come to what we're talking about, cars. And what do cars emit? Emissions. Come on, so the brother mentioned greenhouse. That's cool too. I don't want to see that in my area, honestly speaking. Put in the areas where the traffic flows. Not in residential areas where people live. Come on.
You're growing some vegetables that get tainted because of the pollution. Come on, you got your children outside playing what they do, what they do. They come home, they wheezing. Let me digress because I can go forward, but it's really, it's on the so-called leadership. The leadership is not leading.
Changing.
They're not leading. It seems to me, it's about the deliverance.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's about the deliverance. Not about us. Because I can see this turning into, as they say, a city per se. I'm talking about urban city. You're talking about gas stations. You got plenty of gas stations. And inside again, what is inside these gas stations? Come on now. And as the sister and brother said, these people who own these groups trying to buy it, they are not of our color. And even if they were, it's still out of order.
Yeah.
You're out of order. And that's what I say. I pull it back. They're out of order.
Thank you.
That's the.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Okay, let's, anyone else would like to speak before we bring on, yes. How you doing, Steve?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Pastor, for allowing us to be in this beautiful place of worship so that we all could come together on one accord. And thank you for the sister that posted it on next door, because I would not have known about it. But God doesn't allow any surprises. Everything is purposeful.
Absolutely.
I want to say that I honor this man. I've never met him before, but I listened to what you said, and I was going to keep silent, but I can't keep silent because I'm also a homeowner in the city of South Fulton. And as my husband spoke this evening about a proposal to put a gas station as well as a retail shop, they want to propose to put a healthcare facility. They want to put a drive-through eatery all on the corner of Derrick and South Fulton. If you're familiar with where Derrick and South Fulton and the Amazon, our home is not right in front of Amazon, but it's like to the side, but it's right next to that vacant land where that house. And I'm just thinking about when my husband and I attended the community zoning information meeting. Like my husband said, it was just maybe 4 of us, which was really sad. And sometimes I understand now why some citizens do not come to the meetings, do not participate, or not active. And it's because it doesn't directly impact them. And I say that because I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that didn't come to the meetings until it directly impacted me. And so I ask for your forgiveness because the city of South Fulton means a lot to me. It meant a lot to me when my husband and I lived in Stonewall Manor subdivision, and we weren't aware that the Walmart warehouse was being put there. We didn't find out until after the fact. We saw these little signs, and this is something, these signs, I mentioned to my husband, I believe this is why the people in our community are not aware a lot of times of what's going on. It's because when we see these signs, we're busy going on our way. we're not looking to see if something's going on. If it's not like a big billboard sign, we're not paying attention. We're just moving. And so if we could even voice that at the planning meetings or the meeting to our councilmen and women, that it's important how our people are educated on when things are taking place within the community. If they put it online or if it's, however it's advertised, it needs to be advertised so that the citizens, the wonderful citizens of the city of South Fulton can be made aware, they can be educated on what these signs look like. So if they're aware of what these signs look like, then they'll know, ding dong, something's coming. And we're not all caught off guard. We're not all caught sleeping. And that's what's been happening within our city. We are people that are sleeping, and so much is going on. We don't know what's going on until after the fact. But I also want to share that what came to me was here as I'm listening to everyone that stepped forward this evening, is that things are happening rapidly, very fast. And what came to me in my spirit was desperation causes disaster. Desperation causes disaster. The love of money,
Is the fruit of all.
the love of it is going to not destroy those of us that's in this room, but it's going to destroy those that are not in this room, those that are in the womb, and those that are yet to be in the womb. That's how deep it's going to impact every last one of us. We may be here to see it. We may not be here to see it. I don't believe that it's coincidental that we're here this evening at a facility, at an establishment created by God, established by God, called Decision Point Ministries. We all have a decision to make. A decision that's going to be impactful, that's going to impact our lives, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. To the councilmen and women that may be in this room, I want to encourage you to think about whose side are you leaning on? Are you leaning on the Lord's side? Or are you leaning on the side of the enemy? Because if you are leaning on the Lord's side, then you will be for the people. It is not about yourself. It is about the people. Because I know that Christ came for the people. And so, as councilmen and councilwomen, you're voted in by the people, for the people, not for yourselves, not for your own agenda. I'm standing here tonight, not about my own agenda. I'm standing here tonight because I love the people. I love God and I love my community. I love what God has given me and my family. I love what God has given each and every one of you and your family. God has blessed us all.
Yes.
Let's not take it for granted. Because when we take it for granted, it is so easy to lose it. The Bible says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul? His soul is not just you as an individual, but it's you, your seed, and 10 generations and beyond. So whatever we do here tonight, I want to encourage you all, as I encourage myself, to let's not keep silent, but let us remain steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as we know that our labor that we do for our community is for the Lord, it's not in vain. So I say to you again, the decisions that we make tonight is our decision for the future. It's not just for the next upcoming meeting. The city of South Fulton, let me say to you this revelation I received. The city of South Fulton is a gateway. It is a gateway, and it is a corridor. It is a place that is an entrance to a land of milk and honey. It's a place that some have took a peek over into it, and they see
Thank you.
what's there.
Man.
And what they're looking at is not us.
That's right.
They're looking at what we're on. We are on a blessed land.
Yes, say it.
We are on a land that God has given us, that no one can take away from us, but we can give it away. I'm not willing to give it away. I'm not giving it away because I asked God for the land that my husband and I have been blessed with. And because I asked him for it, he gave it.
Let's say something.
And I asked him specifically for it because I saw something growing up as a little girl. I saw that people that were not of my skin color, they and their families were prospering. And I said to the Lord that I wanted to prosper. As my soul prospered, I want to prosper. And I want to leave an inheritance as well as a legacy to my children and my children's children
That's right.
and my children's children's children and 10 generations beyond. I want my grandchildren and beyond to be able to say, I remember my grandma Gordon, she stood up one day for me. And because she stood up for me, I'm here today. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has done for us. That's what Reverend Jesse Jackson did for us. But more so than that, that's what the Lord Jesus Christ has done for us. He has paved the way for us to be here tonight. And because I'm here, please don't turn a deaf ear, but open your ears and open your hearts to receive this word from my heart to yours. I pray that you will share it with your neighbors. Tell them how much God loves them and tell them how much all that they have is not because they work so hard. It's because God will that we all be blessed and prosper and be in good health. Be in good health. So make the decision. Get up, my brothers. Get up, my sisters. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Make the decision. I appreciate this moment. Thank you so very much. God bless you.
Amen.
Guess I can drop the mic after that one. Deep. But just real quick, Brother Aaron, I'm with just to piggyback off what she said. You know, the Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know, they never want us to own land. They just talk real talk. Okay, the new Tulsa, Oklahoma now, instead of them dropping bombs and killing us outright, you know what it is? Flood their neighborhoods and their community with cheap businesses. Beauty supply stores, liquor stores, pawn shops, where it's gonna force the home values to go down. And guess what's gonna happen once that happens? gentrification, and they're gonna swoop it up.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're not gonna be able to get in the city of South Fulton $1 million or more.
That's right.
I, like my brother at C.E.E.L, words bond. I was so frustrated and so hurt that I'm fighting with elected officials for where I live. I'm like, I'm supposed to be at home relaxing after a hard day's work. Why am I fighting with elected officials that should know what their constituents want? If you take this to John Creek, after, yeah, I'm talking about the north side. Y'all, a lot of folks say, why y'all always compare it to the north side? Because we need to compare it to the north side so we can learn and build up our neighborhood, our community, so we can stop running to the north side for a better way of living. I was once that way because I was so hurt. And I'm like, you know what? And Miss Stephanie back here, she can bear with me. I test her saying, how much I can get for my home? Because I was tired. I was tired. And just like my sister just spoke, I prayed on my home. I prayed that, hey, I said, God, if this home for me, bless everything to go through. In less than 45 days, I was closing. No delay, nothing. So I know that the home is for me. I know the home is for all of us. Where else can you go in the United States and Black people own an acre or more land? Huh? If people come from New York, California, and places like that, say they've never seen Black people live the way they live there. That's why they call Atlanta the Mecca.
Right.
The Black Mecca. And don't you know it's outsiders. We're not far from the airport. We're not far from the airport. We're not far from the city.
Yeah.
We're in the central Douglasville, like in my backyard. I can get to Douglasville in 10, 15 minutes. I get to the airport in 10.
That's right.
Don't you know people want that?
Yes.
Yeah. So what they gonna do? Flood our neighborhood, our community with gas stations, liquor stores, like you said, every other Black. I once was living in Riverdale in 93. When it was half and half, white and Black. I went back to my old home in Riverdale, I cried. I cried. Because what they did in Riverdale and Jonesburg is what they're trying to do to the city of South Fulton. And Councilmember Gilliard said at the last meeting, she said people already talking, saying that South Fulton gonna be Terra Boulevard in a minute. Overnight, this can happen to our city. Some elected officials, I don't know their agenda. I don't know what it is, but it seems like some are content on making our city a ghetto. And if we fall for it, don't get mad because we didn't do anything. Let's work together and unite. Tomorrow is the planning commission meeting, and they're voting on this February 24th, which is next Tuesday. If you would like, everybody said before, let's hold on this. Let's come together with the citizens, the residents, and talk. Have our input into what you all want to do in our city. Because if not, you're going to have a lot of angry people here, like Mr. Harry said.
Well, I just want you to tell everybody where the planning commission.
Okay, yeah. The planning commission meeting is tomorrow at 4255 Welcome Road. It'll be at Welcome, and we need to pack the house.
It's at 6.
And it's at 6 o'clock, yes, sir, thank you. At 6 o'clock tomorrow is the planning commission, if y'all can just jot that down. And how the information got out on the next door. My head is hurting from testing people all day long. I have group tests of like 20, 30 people. You're talking about 5, 6 different group tests that I'm testing people. But I don't mind doing that because like you, my sister, I love where I live and I want to keep it beautiful. We have here Councilmember Aaron of District 2. Thank you for coming out, sir.
I know it doesn't look like it, but this is a bulletproof jacket. So so first of all, everyone. I don't know now.
If you don't need it at the council, you ain't gonna need it here.
Girl. So a couple of things. First of all, thank you all for coming out. One thing that people can't say about me is I don't communicate. I think that no matter what, whether we agree or not, I'm open to communicating with everybody. I've been hemmed up by Ms. Denson. She'll tell you she gets it to me all the time. True.
Yes.
And I'm gonna get it again after tonight probably, but I do know that, I'm open to talking about why I feel the way I feel. We sat down, we had conversations, texts, all of that. And it's basically because even though I hear the hardest thing, and Mayor Edwards is in the back, and he will attest to this. Emma Darnell used to be a county commissioner for you all that don't know her. And she always said, you know, put your name on the ballot. You want to do something, put your name on the ballot. And that's what I did. And I've worked with elected officials for 30 years and I do that. And I've done that, and I know that they go out and they make the best decisions from the information that they have. And I see all the time where there's information that people or things that people hear about or how they feel, because tonight this conversation sounds way more than about gas stations. Now, I could be wrong, but she talked about inheritance. Somebody else talked about, you talked about just having a nice quality of life. Vincent, you talked about EVs and clean energy. Somebody else talked about health. I don't see the young lady anymore, but she talked about health. I promise you, all of those things come into consideration, whether you believe it or not. Now, I've also heard Oreo, I've heard taking money, I've heard all those things. And it's hard. It's hard to hear because I live here too. It's hard to hear that you're being considered, that you're selling out to your community because you take a position that's different than some people want you to take. You'd be surprised at how many people tell me on a regular basis. I literally was just in Starbucks the other day. And a gentleman came up to me, did not know him, came up to me. He lives in one of the canyons. He thinks it's a great idea. He said, I read the legislation. I know what it says. Some of the things that I've heard it says is not what it really says. The gentleman that talked about the gas station across the street from him on Stonewall Tail. Two of my children went to Stonewall Tail. I live off Stonewall Tail. I've been very vocal the entire time that I didn't think that was a good idea. I like the plaza and I go to Blake's, but where they were trying to put it, did I not say it was in a bad place? I said consistently. And in this legislation, it doesn't put a gas station in that place. It puts a gas station in a commercial district. It puts a gas station in a mixed-use development. It puts it in places that are designed for gas stations.
Right.
Now, can the council come back and say, well, we want to put it here anyway? Yeah, but y'all do realize they can do that today.
They already made a decision.
Exactly.
So why change the ordinance then?
Exactly.
The reason why you change the ordinance, and I want to get to that in a minute. A part of changing the ordinance is, if you ever read the actual ordinance, it's only 3 things in it. It says that there shall be no gas stations more than, less than 3 miles from each other, 1,000 feet away. And in Fulton Industrial Boulevard, if it's forward facing on Fulton Industrial, that's excluded. That's all it said. The lady that talked about environmental, there's no environmental protections in there. Now, it said, hold on, it said that the state takes over the environmental aspect of it, right? Well, this legislation actually put it in the legislation. The ordinance actually puts the environmental protections in there. It says that if you put a fuel station or SOAR, it has to do an environmental study. It says it. It says a couple different things, that it puts everything in order. Some people ask, why would you repeal it instead of amending? So we're gonna have a real conversation tonight. And Councilwoman Rao is here. She may or may not agree with me, but I see a couple other people that may or may not agree with me. When the city of South Fulton was formed, I mean, when I tell you, they put through a lot of legislation, a lot. And I think that a lot of times they put through legislation that had unintended consequences. So they put in legislation that would say, we want to do A. And then they'll put a little subsection, but not considering what it does over here. And then they'll put something over here, not to say that Councilwoman Rao did that, I'm just saying the other ones, right? That did that as well. It went back and contradicted something else. If you go through our code, there are things that in theory should make just basic common sense. But when you read it and then go to other places, it's confusing. So if you take in my opinion, if you take the legislation and put everything right there, it makes it cleaner. If you go to the state capitol, they do it all the time. If you go to the county, they do it all the time. And I can tell you, you want to say something now or?
I have a question and you can help me. It matters what problem we think we're trying to solve. What is the intended consequence of repealing and replacing this order? Because I sit on council and I've heard all kind of things. I actually proposed something in the last meeting as an alternative. I still, from the sponsors, I have not heard what are we trying to fix, and I've been here for 9 years, so I haven't heard it all. So I just want to understand what are we trying to fix with this ordinance?
So I can tell you, I can tell you a couple of things.
I really want to understand, because it's more than one way to solve any problem.
Exactly, I totally agree. And that's why I've been open to conversations, and I don't know if you want to tell them, but I've been willing to talk to you. I've been reaching out. I don't know if you all know, Councilwoman Rao is the one who put through the 3 mile legislation. So I said to myself, when people talk to me online in church, I said the person I need to talk to is the person that wrote the legislation. I asked why was the legislation written, what was going on at the time of the legislation being written, and then I listened to some of the people that wanted to change it. Okay, this is what I was told. How is this going against each other? Well, like for instance, in District 4, Councilman Sebastian said his biggest problem is right now, these gas stations have to be in certain zoning areas, right? But he doesn't have a lot of those. He doesn't, and what he means by that is if you put one here and you have, let's say, another zone 2 miles away, that's 2 clean miles out of the way, but it's 2 miles away. Well, he might not have another one for 5, 6 more miles or something like that. He can't put it in the second place, like on South Fulton Parkway or in a particular area. So y'all know there's a Shell gas station on Cedar Road. It's in, so I thought it was Shell.
That's a Chevron highway thing too.
Okay, but that's down the other way, but I'm talking about if you're going either way. But what he's saying is he only had like certain areas, Fulton Industrial, for instance, you can put them in several different places. You can go 3 miles down the street and put another. You can go in other areas of the city and do it. But in his area, I'm sorry?
My question is why it's not being done as opposed to putting in residential areas.
But that's just it. They're not, but see, that's a part of what we're hearing, but we know it's not true. For instance, the one that wanted to be put across the street from you, we fought that. I was one of the people that was against it. That's why it went away. They're not trying to put it in a residential area. The goal is to put them, to codify it so it goes into commercial or mixed use area.
What codify? I don't understand.
So right now, what you want to do is put it in the ordinance clearly. So it clearly states this is where it can go. These are only places that it can go. So what you're afraid of is, I agree with you. I think it's wrong. That's something that's called spot zoning. So right now, what people can argue is that there is a gas station on the corner from you. In order to put it in front of you, you have to change the zoning in order for it to be across the street from you. I'm one of the people, but I agree, it doesn't need to be there.
It doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
Because you're talking about a revenue. This is the bottom line. This is why, they'll put certain things in areas to bring some income in.
Well, see, and that's the other thing that we
The city of
hear.
Fulton County.
But see, that's the other thing that we hear, but let's think about it.
Yeah,
They didn't pass it, right? There was an outcry against it, and the variance and the zoning did not get changed to allow for that gas station to be there.
But they withdrew.
No. You can consider anything. Let's be honest though. You can, I mean, seriously.
Let me say, I'm gonna stop you right there.
I,
With this might don't work. But it was told to me, cause see, I don't like the sugarcoat nothing, and it will come, let me get my.
And I have.
When this gas station was on Stonewall Tail,
mhm,
you got all those churches around there,
mhm.
and nobody said nothing.
Hmm.
You got a big black church, you got one faith just came up, you got the little white church.
True, about 5 of them.
What's really going on? Because if the gas station, I call it Mayberry.
mhm,
Mayberry's been there a long time.
right.
I think it's called Two Rays.
Yeah,
Grandfather.
When those young children were standing out there and they were saying that their cars was getting broke in, you had all kind of folks speaking against that gas station. But you ain't heard nothing say about this gas station on Stonewall Tail,
Mm.
okay? My concern is, why do we have to push it through so quickly?
Okay.
Wait,
Well.
this is my meeting. But see, I can't come to the council and have it flow for 30 minutes, y'all stop me. What happens is, y'all can hold on to this. But I'm gonna tell you what city elected officials told me.
Mm.
We gonna wait till we get elected, and we gonna put it back on to pass it.
Exactly.
And if I'm telling a lie, Aaron, you didn't say that.
I was about to say, I didn't say.
Because you didn't say that.
Okay.
But if I'm telling a lie, I want God to come get me right now. I am sick of elected officials talking out both sides of their mouth. When we fought for cityhood, y'all, we fought for a reason. Miss Dixon back there, when I saw her, she used to stand up on a corner and we were arguing like cats and dogs because she said she did not want the city because what's going on now, that's what she said was gonna take place. She said it.
Yes. Oh.
And if elected officials really care about what the people say, they would do and listen what the people say. I'm gonna give you a.
Second Peter.
Well, can I finish?
Yeah.
All right.
You got 2 minutes, just like you do it, I mean.
See, that was the other thing about, I knew it, but I never told you.
You gonna be all right.
The gas one too.
Because
We did show up.
you showed up, thank you.
So the thing about elected officials, I'm here. I didn't say that. Catherine is here. So it's not all elected officials.
Gotcha.
We gotta stop putting what one person does on every single person.
Welcome to my world.
I get it, I understand, but I get it, I understand.
You got.
But maybe an elected official did tell you that. I can't argue that, but I can tell you where I am. I can tell you where I am. I am that particular one. I've been against it the entire time.
But what about,
One in District
what
7.
about Derry?
One against the one in District 7, which is the pinnacle of what this ordinance is about.
You're right.
You're right too, but you got residential all around that area.
But that's-
This is in the area. So this is the argument that we have.
Go to work.
And Derry Road, they're trying to stick on Derry.
And see, the thing about it,
Hey, guys, I mean, out of all due respect, can we please let him
speak.
say, I think Councilwoman asked some poignant questions
Okay, we got.
that will help us guide strategy, understanding, and everything we need to know walking into tomorrow or next week.
Okay.
But if we keep cutting them off, Damita already put them on the block.
Okay,
If
so
we let them answer why, the biggest question we wanted to know is, why are they rushing this?
That's all.
And what gap in legislation is there that's creating this need to fix it? If we let them get that out, we can jump on like that.
Okay.
Get pulled on with that.
So, first of all, I honestly don't believe this being rushed. And the reason why I don't believe it's being rushed is because the conversation has begun a long time ago. And actually, it was first introduced in January, and it'll be voted on later. And then during that entire time, I know for a fact, there are 7 people in this very room right now that I have talked to about my position and getting their opinions on it. If you look at the legislation that when it started to where it's at, it's not the same. And it's not the same because of conversations and trying to make it better. I still think that there might be 1 or 2 more things that we could do to make it a little bit more better, which we're still working on. So I'm not one that believes that it's being quote unquote rushed. So I know I only got 30 seconds left, but let me say this. Because we talked about trees and development and all of that. 25 years ago, my wife and I looked around the metro area and we said, where do we want to live? We said, what area is the best place to live? Coincidentally, at the time, I was working at the city of Atlanta. City of Atlanta, they all said, I know y'all remember when we created the city, that the fastest growing area, the only area left to be developed and what's going to be the next area is South Fulton. Now, that was 25 years ago. All of the things that they've been talking about for South Fulton for 25 years is coming to fruition today. I encourage each and every one of you to continue to be a part of the process because a lot of people own land around. A lot of people are waiting for developments around here. There are people that don't look like us that own more than half of what's left. That is true. It's just true. And with that, you're right. They may not be thinking about us. They may not care about us. But we do. And we live here. So as long as we do and we live here, we need to make sure that we are all involved in all of the meetings. All involved. Everybody doesn't have to go to every meeting, but make sure you send somebody to every meeting so they can report that and you can be a part of it.
The
So-
need that needs to be met by changing this legislation, we haven't got that.
Okay, the need of, according to the legislators when I got there and from some other staff people around. The biggest need is that they need to be able to do developments in a more clean, concise way. Dropping it down from 3 miles to 1.5 miles. That seemed to initially be the biggest obstacle. More people were concerned about the 3 miles to 1.5 miles. Only because in South Fulton right now, we do not have the commercial zones in certain parts of the city that we have in other parts of the city. So like, for instance, as I mentioned, Fulton Industrial, you have it. In Old National, you have it. We still, I know y'all aren't gonna believe this, but per capita, we have the lowest amount of convenience stores in South Fulton.
That was by purpose.
All right, let me ask y'all this. All right, let me ask y'all 2 questions. How long, y'all can't answer this, and you can't either. How long has the 3 mile radius been in effect?
Since 2021, we had no
Okay,
problems, and we have no problems, no pursuits or
But
nothing.
what I've always said is, if we were going to be, I don't believe that we're gonna be oversaturated with gas stations. I know there are a lot of people that think, I absolutely believe that. I can easily say that because I know if you look at the comprehensive plan, where you can put them, that is not going to allow for. And plus, like Vincent said, one of the other things I did, I researched EVs. I research how many people are buying. And I've also researched what people are doing with current gas stations and what they're doing with old gas stations. Like right here around the corner, they're doing so many different things. People keep asking, what do they do with gas stations? And I got you, I promise. So once you put all of those factors in play, then you realize, well, we're gonna get more gas stations because it's probably gonna be 2080 before EVs take over in America. I promise you, only because, well, you gotta remember, there's a difference between EV sales and EVs on the road.
My
But-
question, I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
My only question is, why gas stations, man?
It's not just gas stations, but that's what this
I
argument.
know the gas station have convenience stores and so on and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But why don't we have something that's more tangible to our community?
Like farmers market.
I'm actually working on farmers markets right now. I mean, we're doing multiple,
To that
but sir, with all due respect, we're doing multiple things, but this is what the letter went out to talk about.
Gas station.
Now- Yes,
Councilman, Damon, thank you. Can we hear from council?
yes.
But before you go, Zach, one brief question.
Yeah, it's there.
One brief question. Since you appear to understand the homeowner's perspective, how can you be sure that it's presented in such a way that residents are protected?
Mhm.
Because I have not encountered any citizen who has a problem driving a little farther to get the gas.
I had to admit that when I first.
Why gas stations?
Well-
And the risk that they could impact the value for properties. How would you protect that? In whatever, however, the ordinance is properly codified, how would you protect that component?
And this lady back here has really been waving her hand. But, I'm answering this question first. Actually, I believe that because of where the gas stations can go. Now, Harold brought up a great point. Technically, the council can make a variance and put a gas station in various places. But I don't see them doing that a whole lot. I haven't seen, am I wrong? But
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I want to give Councilwoman Rao an opportunity to speak. Thank you, Aaron, for coming. She can ask the question. She's a council person. She can probably answer the same question. She's on the council too. I want to give her opportunity because time is winding down.
Okay.
And I just want to thank you, Aaron, for coming.
Thank you, Aaron.
I appreciate you because I just appreciate you. Even when you don't think I appreciate you, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank Aaron. All right, thanks a lot, Aaron.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. I was actually torn about coming and me and, Councilman Johnson were talking. I was like, well, if he's going, then I guess I'll go. Just to listen because, I'm one of two people who are not on this legislation. And I've been torn because I did not know what we're trying to solve.
Thank you.
When this was first introduced, many of the proposals we saw coming through the city was for gas stations, period. It was, every application. And so I introduced the ordinance to stop, right? Because that's not quality development.
That's right.
There is a lot, if you go out there and do the research, many of the major car manufacturers aren't even making gas automobiles anymore. I think General Motors, Volvo, you look at them, right? Because by 2035, the plan was, and granted, was under another presidential administration. But that ship has sailed. In fact, that's why the city rolled out our EV initiative, and you see in almost all of our public buildings, we have EV infrastructure being put in. I do hope I do think it's rushed, because while there may be elected officials talking, we need to talk to community. Same thing with the legislature. We need to go into the meetings. The council needs to hear, not just two of us. They need to hear what the residents' concerns are. It's more than one way to fix this legislation, whatever we're fixing. I thought it was, what I did here was around grocery stores, and I appreciated hearing that. And that's why at the last council meeting, I suggested that we look at, exempting grocery stores over 100,000 square feet or membership clubs. Because I do know, if like Kroger, they're closing grocery stores all over the place.
And their new model is a model that's, well, no, it's a giant store, it's really a department store. That makes sense to me because malls are obsolete, like we have to be flexible in our thinking, and when you go in those new Kroger stores, they're literally like, I call them like supermarkets, they have everything in there. And so I was like, okay, if that's preventing us from getting grocery stores, because like in District 4 and some of those areas, they don't have grocery stores. How can we make sure we introduce a solution that works, but not open us up to everything coming? I know this came from feedback from a resident. This really should come from policy experts. If we're gonna change it, it needs to be done right. And the reality is, if you look at the future land use map, there's commercial areas on there. That means they can go in those areas. And we can, and rezoning, if we're still taking rezoning applications, it can be anywhere. And I don't want us to be dismissive. You can have 2 gas stations on 1.5 miles. You're correct, in 3 miles, you can have 4 gas stations. That's a fact. That's, it's math, right? And so we cannot ignore or, not, well, we shouldn't even assault residents, because it's the math, like you said. And so I hope we listen more. I hope we figure out how to fix it. But again, I need to know what problem we're solving for, because hasn't been clear. And as residents, you deserve an answer to that question, because we can solve it. Any number of ways. And so that's just it.
We gonna,
You know,
answer the young lady back there and then ask her standing there right there, Captain.
what was the question?
I live in District 4, and my question is, okay, the date that they're trying to vote on, are they gonna vote on the 24th?
Yes, ma'am.
But, okay, but that was when it's supposed to be voted on, correct?
The 24th, next Tuesday. That's what they're gonna vote.
It could be voted on the 24th, or it could be deferred. That is at the pleasure of the city council. But it is up for a second read on the 24th.
And y'all can vote then. And then, okay, one more question. Because I watch the meetings and I used to post the agenda all the time in next door. What is the purpose of the plan commission? Because I've watched y'all years and years and years. And y'all ignore the plan commission. I'm not saying you, but in general, you ignore the plan commission. So what is the purpose of it?
It should be, again, residents are appointed from all 7 districts. It's for them to give input before we make a final decision.
Councilman Rod, and you know I watch y'all. I'm Doris Clark. And you know that I watch and I post, I watch almost every meeting. And ever since we came to city, I can watch those meetings. Y'all don't really pay the plan commission any attention.
I know who the meeting, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I watch everything.
We need to looking at different people to lead the council, because evidently we cannot get through to most of the people who own the council.
That's it.
And you keep electing the same people, they still make decisions that are not in our best interest.
No.
What we need to do is try to identify people, like for example, I have identified somebody from this meeting tonight. She may be gone now, anyway, identify who's here, because I will start right now, for putting aside a little money on the campaign. Because we got to get these people out, that's the only solution.
That's all I know.
Get the young lady right there,
Jewel.
Miss Jewel.
Okay.
You come get the mic so we can hear you, please. Miss Jewel, no, we gonna get her first.
Okay.
Back there, young lady back there, yes, come get the mic, please.
I just want to make comments. One, I appreciate you coming, but still didn't get an answer on why.
Amen.
And second, it is rushed, particularly if you say you still think of changes. So when will we get a chance to see the changes that's the thing? We won't. And if there's no rush, why to go? Okay, if there's no rush, no real need for it now, why can't we take the time? If you said, why can't we take the time? And why can't we get a straight answer? As to why, I heard you say a lot of things.
Let her talk, please.
I heard you say a lot of things.
but not a direct answer. Because you didn't say anything you couldn't do. You said that we could do different things. You denied,
Oh, my God,
I'm sorry. You denied station. You can continue to deny station because you're as it is, right? I didn't hear anything. And I also heard a lot of people that come. I'm here from my neighborhood. There's more than me. Everybody's not done. So don't look at the number of people in the room and assume that these many people are interested. We all come from neighborhoods. And a lot of people in the neighborhoods. And one of the things I forgot what I wanted to say.
okay. That's the time to come back.
I'll be here. I ain't gonna.
Have to be all
Yeah, I
that.
think they heard what I forgot. Oh, I did want to leave one notation about communication. Because I found about this meeting this morning. And it's hard for people to switch their schedules when they find out something this morning. So if we could come together, I got it from Cliftondale, an email from Cliftondale. So if we all can come together with, and this lady was sending text. If we could come together where we are getting all the emails, and for the man that spoke about Old National, we don't hear anything about Old National because they only give us information with a 1 mile radius. So we can't come and support you because we don't even know what's going on with you. And we don't have time to go to every meeting and listen to everything. That's why we elect you. And you make promises to District 2, and she did for 1. So we shouldn't have to police you.
Thank
Amen.
That's all right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Come on.
No, just giving him a chance to answer her question and the councilwoman question. Why?
I have a question.
And I got three real good questions that came through social media. This is y'all town hall, and I got to get up at 2 o'clock, but I can leave at 12 o'clock and still go to work at 2 o'clock.
Let's give it up for our single organization and Pastor Mary. Thank you.
Y'all trying to fail, you should like the bill.
I wanted to say that I've been with you all, especially Ms. Mohammed, from the beginning.
That's right.
And I've been quiet tonight for the mere fact I wanted everyone to be able to say what he or she wanted to say. And what I'm saying tonight is you listen as well as watch what people do as much as what they say. Because when you look at the fact, as long as we've been dealing with this one, whatever you want to call it, at this point, all the changes in the taking place, we only have what? 2 people that's supporting the vision of the people. Am I right? And there's 5 people that's not supporting it. And this happens quite a bit. I don't think there's anything that I've missed in this city until I had a little hiccup medically and was out of it for a little while. I listened to a lot of you all talk about how you look and how beautiful it is. I feel the same way. And I've been working for what, 8 years now? And for 8 years, people in my community where I live have been ostracizing me for 8 years. But I'm not upset with them. Some of the people in Atlanta has done the same thing to me. But I understand. I understand that we have so many people don't understand the history of where we are. And I truly do believe that we can fix this. But we have to work together, and I just want to say thank you for those of you that are here tonight, because I have stood many a days in city council by myself. It didn't matter if I believed I was right, I stood up. And I'm here tonight to be the same way I'm gonna stand up. So when you see something wrong, don't be ashamed. Call it out. I love this young man here. I've been knowing him a long time. I'm gonna tell you, he'll tell you, I'm gonna beat him as long as I can beat him when he's wrong. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna be ugly to him. Same thing with Catherine. Catherine and I work like two animals to make this city. Did we, Catherine? And how many fights did we have? And she will tell you,
We'll still go break bread.
right, this is what I'm saying. If something is wrong, I get on that phone and I call. It's not good. You and I have been through this. Let's pull this again. These are the things that I feel like we should do. And we're not gonna take a whole lot of your time because we've had a good meeting. Now, tomorrow it does bother me because, my councilperson is having a town hall meeting. And I want to be there because if she's coming out with something that George Johnson can't deal with, we can have a conversation. Am I right or wrong?
It's fine, it'll be recorded.
But I'm saying this because I am proud of each and every one of you. Because for so many meetings, I've stood by myself. So many meetings, I've seen people like Alvin Rowe, Michael Venable. And they love what they said too. They don't go outside. And I want to close by saying one thing. History is important. It's very important. And that's one of the things that I'm doing to try and let everybody understand the history of South Fulton. And I have began it. It's we're ready to roll. We just got our date and time, and you're going to be hearing about it. We are mailing out to 8,000 homes in the city of South Fulton. So when you get your magazine, please read it. It's informational. There are nice pictures. We're showing you from where we started to where we are right now and how important it is for us to continue. So I encourage each and every one of you, please, if you are missing anything, I heard someone say that they would have known about this if they hadn't gone, read it on Nextdoor. Go to Nextdoor. I put commentary on Nextdoor quite often. And you can read it, and there's a lot of good things. A lot of people get angry with it, but a lot of them love it because I know how to write. So keep reading. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me get it. Okay. Again, I want to thank Councilman Aaron Johnson, District 2. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Dr. Rao, Council 1. It means a lot. Just don't know. And you know, I'm always gonna be the leader, you know that. This is one of the questions that came up. Are the proposed gas stations in any of the council members' neighborhoods or close proximity of their homes? That's one of the questions that was sent over.
Well, I don't think there are any proposed gas. There are no proposed.
Which is why I don't think we have to rush. I'm not aware of, I heard one today, that was the first one, but y'all the people in the impacted areas may actually hear before we do.
Right.
And here's another one. The replacement ordinance does not ensure the city benefits economically from this remain ordinance. That's one. This is saying.
I will say, I do like the brownfield thing that was proposed by the city. It's not enough time to put it together, but I actually like that.
I think a resident.
I have a policy drawn up, ordinance ready to drop, just needing.
I saw that, and I'm gonna get with Stephen, because I kind of like that too. But let me say this is our city. And we fought hard.
Yes.
We fought so hard. And I met a lot, I'm talking about me, I met a lot of folks on that journey. I met a lot. Some didn't want the city and some wanted the city. But we're here now. And we have to do what's right. And what happened is. What happened was, some of this stuff that we're facing, that was not at the table. Again, that was not at the table, and I got all the paperwork from when we were fighting for cityhood. I'm gonna give them a chance. I told the councilman when he called me to ask for my support, I told him that I was gonna stay out of the race. And I told him I was gonna hold him accountable. This is not friendship. Dr. Rowell, I'm gonna call her Catherine. She'll know it ain't a friendship. Cause when I see something that I don't like, I calls her and she tell me, calm down, stop talking so fast, stop talking so fast. And by the time she just said that, I done said 100 things. And when we get off the phone, when I'm mad, she say, okay, Mrs. Chatman. 2 minutes later, she called me back. Now that's a friend. She said, Miss Chatman, how you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. She won't say the same thing. So in saying that, we have to speak up. If the council vote for this next Tuesday night, and the street committee already said they're gonna vote for it. It's 5-2. I'm going to be drafting up a letter to my mayor to veto. Hold on. I'm going to ask her to veto this. Better yet, the mayor don't have a vote. Hold on, the mayor don't have a vote. She can veto powers. I'm going to ask her or ask the council, will they put it on hold? It shouldn't have to be rushed. I know the person that put this bill in place, she's gonna go on to a bigger playing field.
We can stop that.
And why we got to rush it? We don't have to rush it. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's a whole lot of them on the council that fought for cityhood and they ain't doing nothing they said they were fighting for. They talked out both sides of the mouth. And I'm just gonna call it like it is. Am I disappointed in them? Yes, I am. Have I lost friendship with them? Yes, I have. Because I believe in doing what's right by the people. I often say, God is not to be mocked. And I'm gonna keep on praying. Catherine, she'll tell you this when we met with me for them years. Miss Jewel, every night we went out to pray, Dina. We prayed every night for years. Every night we met. And every night I left there, I said, let the sheets come off of them. And if the sheets don't come off, let them fall by the wayside. And God is not to be mocked. He gonna do that. So I want to say, Councilman Aaron Johnson, I know you're supposed to vote for this thing. I want you to pause. You my counsel. You said when you got elected, you listened to the people. Now I'm putting you on the spot. I want you to pause. I'm asking you. Please pause. See, I know I call the council people and tell them to pause it, and they'll get in the meeting and do something else. Be mindful. What the people are saying, see, I know because I ran for election. And I know when they offered you money because they offered me money. Matter of fact, I got a text on my phone right now from a developer. He called me on a Sunday night. He said, Damita, you causing too much ruckus down. I need you to stop. He left it on the phone. I'm gonna call you back. I didn't pick up the phone. He called again. I didn't pick up the phone. I was on prayer line. I listened to his message. He said, I'm gonna call you Monday morning. He didn't call me Monday morning. You know why? Because he said he had already got the council folks and he had his votes. We got another developer. I got documentation. I can back that up. We got another developer that put something in the city. He told us he wanted a liquor store. He sent us, told us to go up in his area And Mr. Harold Reed, do I call him Harold? Harold knew. Harold said, Damita, I'm for that. I listened to Harold. I said, you sure you're for that, Harold? He said, yeah. I said, well, we gonna take our ride. We took our ride to the liquor stores. Aaron, I got the pictures. The liquor stores was the liquor stores that you would find over in the ghetto. The bottles were so big. I asked the man, I said, would you put that in your neighborhood? That's a yes or no. He said no. I said, so you put this in our neighborhood, and then you drive back to Gwinnett County.
Foresight.
He said, yes. I got the pictures, I got the texts. When I go to folks, I got all my paperwork. We got to be mindful to stop being sold out. Harold know what I'm talking about, because when I sent Harold the pictures, Harold was like, what? He didn't show me that. I said, he told us to go to his liquor store. And I went to his liquor stores in Atlanta. And that's why you see us, I say us, and I know how to talk when I want to talk. Standing on the corners, begging for cigarettes, because that's what they do. In closing, he said, he wanted to make his money, and that was his money maker. That's what he said. I'm not gonna call it develop out, but that's what he said. But long as they're pouring into these campaigns, these elected officials is gonna sell y'all out. And I'm gonna tell you, what bothers me so, Mayberry over there on Stonewall Trail, I call it Mayberry, it might be Ray's. Is it 2 Rays or Rays or whatever?
2 Rays.
That man had elected officials on his pump. Now, if I'm lying, I want somebody to say, no, she lying. They were on the pump, the elected officials. You know why? Because they was getting money from 2 Rays. But now the same elected officials want to put 2 Rays out. All money ain't good money, y'all. I'm telling y'all, all money ain't good money. And you got to be careful what you ask for. I'm going to say God is not to be mocked. And what we do in the dark will come back in the light, and we gonna reap what we sow. It's been a many days. My husband said, Damita, when the van comes, you better be ready because we pack it up. But I love South Fulton so much, like y'all, I'm gonna be buried over there on Mallory. So thank y'all for coming. She gonna read something. Y'all make sure if you can come to that zoning tomorrow night at welcome on, pack it out. We cannot let elected officials keep us silent. I'm for the people. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm on an assignment. God gave me an assignment, and I'm on this assignment if I got to walk by myself. I promised my friend Reggie Tatum that, Aaron. The last day that he was in my kitchen, I promised him that. He said, Damita, and I'm gonna say it just like he said.
You in church now.
He said, when them niggas shut up, you keep on talking. Keep on talking. Because we fought too hard for this city down here, for them folks to destroy us. We fought too hard, Aaron. You was on the battlefield. Don't you forget you on the battlefield.
You got stars.
Please don't. And we got to look at Old National is just as important as District 2. Matter of fact, my husband don't spend no money but in the city. And anything done, he said, you come to the city of Old National. And I'll be way across town. He said, Old National or the same time. We got to stop treating it like we got 7 cities. It's one city under 7 folks. The mayor don't count. She just vetoed. But we got to hold these folks accountable. I love Catherine, but I tell Catherine, she'll tell you when it comes down to my tax bill, I tell her I don't like her. So again, I want to thank you guys for coming. Yes, you can. Come on, you come on, because I asked you, did you live in this city? You told me, yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Represent my brother.
Represent.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, brother.
This meeting was very informative, but also disheartening.
What's your name?
Disheartening. I'm Leon Johnson. I'm in District 6. Step right on the phone. And it was disheartening because I am so pro-black, like black doctor, black car dealership, black everything. Living in South Fulton, you see the elected officials, everybody is black. And I felt we were in a good spot with what we had planned for us as black people.
That's right. That's right.
But to hear the things that we're going through today and the gas stations and just even how we can't even get informative meetings so we can be informed, like whether it's rushed or not, people didn't have a chance to even, I mean, council members may have spoke about it, but the residents didn't get a chance to speak, and that's not how it goes in the suburbs. I could have bought a house in the suburbs, but I wanted to live in a black community, which I probably lost out on some equity or whatever the case, but that wasn't my goal. My goal was to be in a place where I felt safe and respected by the people that I lived next to. I didn't want to feel endangered by the people that live in my community as well as run in my community. So this is very disheartening to see what's going on, and we have to take accountability as well, because we have to show up in bigger numbers. Everybody needs, I found out because they sent the email in my HOA. I don't see anybody from my from my community here. So we all have to do the due diligence and get everybody out to vote. If we care, like we say we do, we have to get everybody out to show up in these meetings. So everybody, like, oh, when Obama was elected, go pick up somebody, go bring somebody. We jokingly was just, I saw the email and we jokingly was sitting in the house with nothing to do. So we like, let's go up there and see what's going on about the gas station. And I'm shocked, like I said, I'm disheartened. This young lady, I was working out in my garage and she came and knocked on my door and asked my vote probably a couple months back because she said she was running for a position in South Fulton. And that's the type of individuals we need to make sure we get out on the pavement, speak to people and understand what is really going on and really get the trust. I'm not saying anything, I don't know you by particularly I just mentioned tonight. But those type of that type of energy, that type of commitment, that type of accountability is what we need in all of our communities to make sure we hold people accountable. So I just wanted to say that going forward. So I will do my due diligence. I'm gonna bring some people. I'm gonna knock on a couple of people in my subdivision, right in my cul-de-sac and say, why y'all wasn't at the meeting? And I'm gonna bring some people next time. So appreciate everybody's time.
Appreciate you.
Give the address to the meeting, it's closed out. Give the address to the meeting tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be the planning and zoning, commission meeting. That will be at 4255 Welcome Isle Road, South Fulton, Georgia, 30349. Again, that's planning and zoning meeting, commission meeting. This is where they will vote to approve it or deny it. And the more people show up and voice our opinion like we did tonight, and they will refer that to the council members. But again, like someone mentioned earlier, yeah, if the council members respect what the planning commission say. So we need to pack tomorrow meeting, February the 18th, 4255 Welcome Isle Road, South Fulton 30349. February the 24th is the council meeting. This is where they can very well vote on this. February 24th, and that address is 5440 Fulton Industrial Boulevard, South Fulton, Georgia 30336. 30336, and that's the February 18th and February 24th. Make sure I have everybody's contact information before we leave, and do not block me, okay? Because it takes time to do a lot of testing. But I just want to read this updated version of the new ordinance, and we'll be done. And again, thank you all so much for coming out. And the concerned resident is for all districts, not District 2, not District 1, not District 8, 9, or what, none of that. It's South Fulton concerned resident. So, Yes, ma'am.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
A lot of people deal with subdivisions, I don't. But for those who are here and members of a subdivision, maybe you could ask that the subdivision will send out
Yes, ma'am.
notices to the residents.
Yes.
That might help. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am, that's what we've been doing, like me and Mr. Vincent, he sent out to his HOAs and other people sent out to that, and they were sharing on Facebook as well. But this is the updated version, I'm gonna be quick with this, and we can wrap it up, and network after, give each other information. The updated version of this new ordinance is, no more than 2 gas stations shall exist within 1.5 miles of each other. Separation distance shall be measured in a straight line from the nearest property line of one station to the other nearest property line of the other station. Section B, gas stations located more than 1,000 feet from residential uses and or misuse areas that include residential development shall not require a special use permit. Meaning that if they see, that's why when I sent out these texts, I said a gas station can very well be your neighbor. Because if a gas station see a developer see, hey, we want to put it right there. Again, residential development, that's more that, it's right here. 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 I have no reason to lie. I stay up too long of nights, making sure my people get the correct information before I do anything. This is it.
But what about that is inaccurate? Because this is.
Because if she goes to the very next section, there is a chart that has the zoning requirements for it. It says
So
that
you
it has.
probably are looking at what I've heard.
Okay, let's go back to that chart.
But that has not been put out there.
No, it's online, because,
So who's really giving this information?
I'm sorry, go.
The version that.
I have it all right here.
I know, you see the chart at the bottom in the orange?
Is there?
Exactly.
Is there a chart with it?
No, I'm saying, I've heard about there is a version with a chart. I have not been able to identify it online.
I'll give it to you.
Another reason to hold up and wait.
Exactly. Councilmember Aaron, we're asking you as concerned residents, since you're one of the sponsors, I can pull it up and I can show everybody after. And they can read it for themselves. If you can just go back to your colleagues and ask them, can they please hold off on this? And meet with the concerned residents of South Fulton, whereas we all can sit at the table.
That's why I'm here today.
And I'm saying, can you take it back to the other 4 members who sponsor
The
this?
entire council. That's
And ask them, because a lot of people are asking why it's being rushed, because they have the feel that Councilwoman Willis has to resign by March the 6th. So she needed to get this signed, sealed, and delivered before she has to leave. So that's why a lot of people are asking, why is it being rushed? Whatever. And brother, you live on Old National, you have plenty of gas stations up there. You say on both lines, that's not saying you in 2. Probably have 1 or 2 like that. But it's still gas stations up there, because we're not far from Fulton Industrial. And what we have to consider, you gotta count the gas station that's in the neighboring cities. When you leave Old National and go into College Park, you enter in Union City and Fairview, there's more gas stations right there. So what's the big deal about a gas station? I cannot believe I'm here talking about a gas. I'm like Alan Iverson when they were asking him about practice. And I'm like, gas station, for real? Gas station? Like in 2000, almost 2030, 4 years from now, we're talking about gas station. But anyway, family, thank you all so much, neighbors. Thank you for coming out, and make sure I have your email, phone number, and everything, so I can get more text. Again, February 18th and February 24th.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, and let's give a shout out to Pastor McNary. Thank you so much, Pastor McNary. And thank you for the mother of making sure everything goes well with these elected officials. Damita, tell you back to them.
I want to thank you guys for coming. I always say, before we leave, I want to thank the pastor of this house for allowing us to come. Most of all, I want to thank the man of my house. Thank you and good night.